Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the New Card Report. Do you have a personal job or hobby that you enjoy partaking time into? I do. It's making 18 videos about new cards from Age of Overlord that's set to debut in the TCG on October 20th. But because the OCG lives in the future, we get to learn about these cards now in July. So here we go, some more one-ofs from AGOV. We start first with the coolest looking card in the entire set as far as I'm concerned, Dark Hole Dragon. A level 8 Dark Dragon with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. This badass motherfucker can summon itself from your hand or grave if a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect that didn't target it. And on summon, can activate the effect to add a copy of Dark Hole from your deck to your hand, but it does so during the end phase. It's also indestructible by card effects, which is cool and is all around solid as a card. Nothing phenomenal by any stretch, and certainly made weaker by the fact that it searches in the end phase, but in its defense, look at how fucking cool it is. My god, just climbing out of a black hole, because it's Black Hole Dragon, but at the TCG we translated it to Dark Hole because fucking who knows why. It's cool as shit. And it's solid in Fire Kings? Is that valid to say? It's solid in Fire Kings, able to stick around post Chicken Bomb and serve as a 3k beater. Yeah, it's unsearchable, but it's also undeniably cool. Get it? That's the whole joke. I like it. It's decent, and finally 20 years later we can search Dark Hole. So no arguing about it, it's a cool card. And moving on from neat to nuts, we go to a new Labyrinth monster that's set to shake up trap decks because, oh man, does this card have an effect. Arius, fucking close enough. The Labyrinth Butler is a new level 6 Dark Fiend with 1500 attack and 2500 defense that can quick effect be discarded from your hand to, during the main phase, either summon a Labyrinth monster from your hand or set any normal trap card from your hand. And don't you worry, because you can activate that same trap card the turn that it's set. And just for the bonus effect, if your opponent responds to the activation of a Labyrinth monster's effect or a normal trap card effect, just so long as it's not an activated Arius effect, you can summon this card out from your graveyard. Just have a body. Holy shit, dude. They just decided to let you use any normal trap on the opponent's turn, even when they're going first. And fun fact, one normal trap you might remember exists is Dimensional Barrier. On your turn, when you're going first. Granted, that will require you hard open both this card and Dimensional Barrier, but it's doable. Where it gets a little crazy is with a card like, say, Trap Trick, able to get any trap in the game, and that just makes it a little smidge-a-meter better than it otherwise would have been, doesn't it? Plus, this is fully generic. Obviously, it's got way more use in Labyrinth than anywhere else, but you can just throw this into like an Altergeist deck or a Paleo deck or something if you feel like getting the free body on board, just because link materials, link material, am I right, gamers? And it lets you play on the first turn. You are now reaching a point where it's possible to be eradicated on your turn going first, and yet people will argue that it should stay in the game. Crazy how people are just allowed to speak. This isn't obviously a guaranteed thing, especially generically. You are having to open this and D barrier, but in those 1 out of 100 duels where it happens, that is going to be soul-crushingly brutal. But hey, it's wearing a suit, so you know people are losing their fucking minds because it's an anime girl in a suit. I get it. I'm just a regular guy. People prefer me wearing my suit too. And I'm just me. This is an anime girl. So trust me when I say that when this card got revealed, people were fucking losing it. And speaking of people losing it over drawings, this week also saw the reveal of Exceed the Pendulum, a new rank 3 upgrade to Beyond the Pendulum. Requiring 2 or more monsters, including a Pendulum monster to summon, this light spellcaster has 2000 attack and 3 arrows, all pointing down. And fittingly enough, 3 effects. A couple of threes is what I sees. On Link Summon, it'll add a Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to your hand, and it'll gain 100 attack for each Pendulum monster you control. The last effect is a quick effect for the main phase so long as you have 2 Pendulum monsters in the Pendulum scales. It'll special summon a Pendulum monster from either your hand or grave whose level is between the Pendulum scales of whatever Pendulum spells you've got. So if you've got 1 and 8, you can quick effect summon a 2 to 7. It's kind of like a weird pseudo Pendulum, but not. And would you look at that? Pendulum now has an alternative to Selene that the deck did not need. But hey, it's a woman, and that means people love it. Oh, I don't know anymore. In all seriousness, it's not a bad card. Selene does have the same sort of effect to ultimately just be link climbing, but it's tied to spellcaster specifically. And while I'm pretty sure that covers 98 of the 100 playable Pendulum cards, or 98% of them, this does offer the non-spellcaster Pendulums the opportunity to be summoned for extension. And it's a quick effect, so the enlightened among us have pointed out that you can use this effect to summon a Morphage Sloth on the opponent's turn with the right setup, so cool. But of course, that's all just talk about its qualities in the game. And this is an anime girl, so instead we get shit like this. This is what matters above any and all things. Fun fact, my good friend Mark, whom I duel with occasionally, does watch my videos from time to time. Not every time, but from time to time. And I appreciate that support. I get it. He's not as invested in Yu-Gi-Oh as I am. He's not as interested in every new thing that's coming out. But you know what video he did watch and comment on recently? The one that was titled New Waifu just dropped, or whatever the hell I called it. That got his attention. So I'm willing to bet that if I do plan this, you know, the waifu war, something stupid and clickbaity, that we're gonna see Mark. Hey, hi Mark. Oh, hi Mark. Get it? You can say hi Mark. Everyone say hi to Mark, because he's gonna be here. I know you, motherfucker. I know you. So there it is. It's just Pendulum. You don't give a shit. It's fine. And that also doubles as a reference to The Room, which is a much funnier movie than my just saying the jokes. It's comedy. It's comedy is what I'm getting at. So the card's fine. Nothing amazing or notable for being particularly good or particularly bad. This is run long enough. Let's get on another new card. Ever since the release of Zeus into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, a common question has been asked. If Zeus is so good, why is there no Zeus 2? Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to reveal Age of Overlords is here to bring us Zeus 2. Or close enough. It looks like Zeus. It's related to Zeus. We know it is. Stellar Nemesis Typhon Doomsday Star is the current name I have it translated as, and it's a new rank 12 light machine Xyz with 2900 attack and defense, needing any 2 level 12s to summon as Xyz material, or it can be overlaid onto any monster you control so long as that monster has the highest attack of what you control and your opponent has summoned at least 2 monsters from the extra deck in either this turn or the turn prior. You overlay this onto an Xyz material, its materials will transfer, but regardless, if you summon it this way, you will not be able to normal or special summon any other monsters for the rest of the turn. As for its actual effect, while it's Xyz summoned and on the field, neither player can activate the effects of monsters with 3000 or more attack, and it can detach a material to return 1 card on the field to the hand. A skill drain of sorts for monsters with 3000 attack, except this is better because skill drain does allow you to try and activate the effects before they're negated. This doesn't even let you activate them. It's a damn good card, and it's going to have impact on going second. I'm pretty certain about that. Granted, there is a fair cost here in the sense of if you choose to just say normal summon a monster and then summon this bad boy on top of it, that's your turn. And as powerful as this is, it isn't a board by itself the same way Zeus is. But if you can work away at a board battling and baiting negates and disruptions and then throw this down as one of your last play by virtue of it having to be your last play, that's not terrible. The bounce doesn't target 2, so you never have to worry about clearing a nuisance similar to or even just Dragoon, and the condition to summon it is all but guaranteed by the nature of the game in the present day, because your opponent's almost certainly going to be going into the extra deck. There's maybe 12 decks that won't. That's a strong card. It's not as eye-popping as Zeus was, but then again, I challenge you to come up with a follow-up to Zeus that isn't just absurdly broken. It turns off things like Zeus, Dispater, Boral End, Barone, Arise Heart's Disruption effect, but notably not its Macrocosmos effect since that's not an effect that activates, and so many more monsters. Starscream here, as I'm calling it, is coming in the second set of Series 12, which is notable because Zeus also came out in the second set, of Series 11, meaning we may well be getting a third Zeus-type monster in 3 years. Regardless, this thing's fucking nuts. I know it's your last play in regards to negating the board to save yours, but the implications are pretty damn huge, and the bounce is solid. They even seem to have learned from Zeus by not making its effect a quick effect, so how nice of them. I do believe this is going to be a new staple for going second in all likelihood, and if I'm wrong, you can go ahead and clown on me for being one of the countless YouTubers to overhype everything, because that's what we do. And either way, it's a win-win. So let's wrap it up. Thanks as always go to the LIFD Magnetic Display, the best way to support my channel currently and the true duelist approved way to show off all your favorite cards. Like maybe some shiny new dark holes that you got from Battles of Legend this year, or something else that's actually worth displaying. I just have these 3 cards because they're all relevant to the video. It's not even really a joke there. It's just, get it? One card was about Dark Hole, one's related to Zeus, and one's... Wow. Wow, he has cards. They do look pretty, though. And they look pretty damn good on display. So if you'd like to display some of your favorite pretty cards, I implore you to use my promo code YGOSTRATS15 to save 15% off, or you can have that discount apply automatically by clicking the link in the description. Thanks to LIFD, as always, for the support, and thank you for watching. As always, that's it. The update will be out tomorrow, as usual, just covering some new cards in this one. But whether you want to see the update, you want to see more new card reports, or some other videos that I make sometimes, you can go ahead and subscribe to YGO Strats, because you'll be getting those updates. You'll be impressing your smoking Italian wife, and best of all, the moment you hit subscribe, you're a true duelist.